Greetings, friends. We welcome you to the Sacred Name Telecast, presented by the Assemblies of Yahweh of Bethel, Pennsylvania. I'm Elder Jacob O. Meyer, proclaiming the revealed personal name of our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and the good news of the kingdom of the heavens. And we're delighted to have you with us today and welcome you very heartily and sincerely to the Sacred Name programs. The radio broadcast and the telecast have been designed as Bible studies. And we've been on the air now for over 40 years, broadcasting the true and sound doctrines of the Bible. I hope that you join us every time that these programs can be heard. And don't forget to bring a pad of paper and a pencil or pen, and then take down notes of what I say here, and review those notes. And you'll be able to recover and remember a lot of what you heard. Here is our new calendar. We've just taken delivery on it. This is just a beautiful calendar, and it shows the Jordan River. This is what you see at the beginning of the Sacred Name Telecast. Then we have many scenes from Israel. And one of the great things about this calendar is that we superimpose the biblical calendar over the secular calendar. Here I'm cutting the new grain to identify the month of Abib. And I've done that for 25 times or more in the last years. And I know for certain that when I'm keeping the holy days, that these are the genuine holy days. Here's another picture of this Jordan River scenery that you see at the beginning of the Sacred Name Telecast. Now, in addition, we've also taken delivery of this beautiful bonded leather-covered Bible. And we've been able to hold down the cost. This is just a beautiful Bible. We've rounded the corners of it and painted the edges gold. And the text is so beautiful that when you start looking at it, you can read it so clear. It's so legible and clear, and you'll understand much more of the Bible. But we also have a more economical version if someone is interested in it. And this is a hardcover, has the same text on the inside, but it's not quite as fancy as this one. This is probably our most beautiful Bible that we've ever published. This is the 8th printing of the Sacred Scriptures Bethel Edition Bible. And we are going to have something like 60,000 or more of those Bibles in circulation in various places in the world. So I hope that you either write in or you telephone and request information on how you can obtain one of those beautiful Bibles. And I just want to mention that we're going to give you a copy of the new calendar that's just been published, and I hope that it's going to do some good for you, and that you'll begin keeping the holy days of Leviticus 23 with us, perhaps. Now, yesterday, I took my wife to an appointment that she had with the doctor for a regular checkup, and the doctor started asking questions. Did you have a nice Christmas? My wife replied, we don't keep Christmas. Then they got into a discussion of why we don't keep Christmas, and my wife said, because it's not biblical. Yahshua the Messiah was not born on December 25. He was born during the Feast of Tabernacles. Now, here I have an article that I've done. It's an extensive article. And this article is titled A Case Against Christmas. I wrote it like a legal brief to present the facts of why we don't observe Christmas. Now, most people don't understand. They think we deny the Messiah by not keeping his birthday. There's nowhere in the Bible that tells us that we must keep the Messiah's birthday. You show me a place where it says that, and I'll begin keeping it, but it doesn't say that. We acknowledge the Messiah's birthday on the day he was actually born. Now, if you follow the scriptures, you're going to find that in the Bible, it gives you the time element very clearly, and this time element is connected to the holy days of Leviticus chapter 23. It all starts here in Luke chapter 1, verse 5. There was in the days of Herod, king of Judea, a certain priest named Zechariah of the course of Abia. Now, when I was young, of course, I read right across the course of Abia, and it didn't mean a thing to me. But by turning to 1 Chronicles chapter 24 and verse 10, it tells us that the course of Abia was the 8th division of the priesthood. Now, the first lot came forth to Jehoiarib, the second to Jedediah, the third to Arim, the fourth to Seorim, and the fifth to Malchiah, the sixth to Miyamin, the seventh to Hakoz, the eighth to Abia. Zechariah, John the Baptist's father, was a priest serving in the temple, and he was of the division or the course of Abia. He was of that family. He represented that family in the service in the temple. And he had a wife of the daughters of Aaron, so she was also of the priestly family. And her name was Elizabeth. They were both very old, and they were keeping the commandments and ordinances of Yahweh blameless, but they had no child because Elizabeth was barren. Well, it came to pass when he was performing the priest's duty, which was only done once, or some say only once or twice, by the priest to burn the incense on the golden altar in the temple, that he sensed that a man was standing there with him. And this man began a conversation with Zechariah. And he was an angel. He was the angel Gabriel. He announced himself and identified himself as the angel Gabriel. And this angel told Zechariah, you're going to have a son, and you'll call his name Yohanan, or John. There is no J sound in the Hebrew language, so his name was actually Yohanan. What's so significant about that? John the Baptist was the forerunner of the Messiah, and he came to announce that this man is the Messiah. Now, in announcing the Messiah's first coming, he announced the age of grace. And that's what his name means, the grace of Yahweh. The grace of Yahweh. The word is Hanan, and so it's Yohanan. Sometimes the German will make it Johannes. But anyway, John the Baptist was called Yohanan, shortened to John or Jan. And this happened during Zechariah's serving as the priest to offer the incense on the altar to Yahweh which symbolized the prayers of the saints going up to heaven. And this was in the order of his priesthood, the order of Abiyah. Now, David had established these courses. King David had established these courses. And all the priests had to be in attendance because of all the work that had to be done at all the feast days. So in the spring of the year, at Passover time and the days of unleavened bread, all the priests were in attendance. Well, you keep counting 7 weeks, and then you get to the seventh course, because following the observance of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, then the priestly courses or divisions began to serve. John the Baptist's father was the 8th course, and so he served right at the end of Pentecost, or the Feast of Weeks, Shavuot. When his course was over, he went home, and his wife Elizabeth became pregnant then. And then he continued to serve Yahweh, and then the angel Gabriel, it says in verse 26, now in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from Elohim to a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph, Yosef of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Miriam. It was Miriam, not Mary or Maria. It was Miriam. And he came to her and said, Hail, you that are highly favored, Yahweh is with you, blessed are you among women. But she was greatly troubled. And then the angel said, you bear a son, and you call his name Yahshua. Why Yahshua? Because his mission was to save humankind that wants to be saved, that wants to believe on the name of the Messiah. The name of the Messiah has 2 components. The first one is the abbreviation of the name of Yahweh, as it appears in Psalm 68, verse 4. And at 49 other places, it is pronounced Yah. And then his function was salvation. And that is Shua. The verb is based on Shua. And so the name is Yahshua, which means Yahweh is salvation. And that's the name we must believe on. And so Elizabeth went to see Miriam, went to see Elizabeth, who was a kinswoman, acquainted with her. And then Yahshua the Messiah was conceived at that time when the angel Gabriel appeared to Miriam. Now you count off that Elizabeth was 6 months pregnant, and so 9 months after Elizabeth became pregnant, Yahshua the Messiah would have been born. This was the 6th month, and so you count off on the calendar, and you can use this calendar to do it. You count off on the calendar, and you come to the Feast of Tabernacles. John 1:14 says, and the Word became flesh and tabernacled with us. And we beheld his glory, glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Well now, friends, all this came to happen because Yahweh willed it. Yahweh is always in control. Yahweh is never out of control. Yahweh is the creator. And he created this universe. He controls this universe. And he sits at the controls of the universe. He has many angels serving him, those angels are down here on this earth all the time, because you read when Jacob was running away from his brother Esau, and he spent the night in Bethel, that he saw this ladder stretching from earth to heaven, the angels going up and coming down, which that's the wrong order you would anticipate. You would anticipate that they were coming down and then going up again. But no, it seems that the reason they're going up and then coming down, they spent more time on earth. And they report to Father Yahweh in heaven. And the children who pray are always, their angels are always admitted immediately to the presence of Almighty Yahweh, we read in the scriptures here. And so that a little child, when it prays, it is going to find its prayers answered very quickly. Well, I'd like to mention that I'm offering Literature Offer 9102 on this program. Now, if you have a pad of paper and a pencil or pen to copy down notes, then you can easily copy down Literature Offer number 9102. And I'm going to be offering this literature to you, beginning with this beautiful calendar, new calendar for the year. And you ask for information on how you can obtain one of these beautiful Bibles. If you're going to study the Bible, you should have a really good text, and this, I believe, is the best text of the Bible that has ever been produced. And I'm not being arrogant and facetious saying it. This is a Bible that we have worked very, very diligently in trying to perfect it. So remember that this literature, along with this article, The Case Against Christmas, here I have two books, and you can, these are two of my paperback books. You can select one of these free of charge. This one is part of the commentary series on Revelation, and this one has a lot of good material on Israel's tabernacle in the wilderness. Here are some of the other books that I've written. Biblical Ecclesiastical Assembly Administration. I've published my translation of the book of Micah with a commentary that I did when I was in seminary. Here is a commentary on the book of Galatians that I've written. And this is a book that's written from a new perspective. The perspective is the life setting in which the book was written. It has been misinterpreted by nominal religion. And so consequently, here you have a new perspective on the book of Galatians. And here's my study book. This is made, the Sacred Name Study Made Simple, really. I've tried to simplify it, but all of this material in this book, you can take this book to the library, in your public library near your home, and you can start looking up the material, because we have a bibliography here, and we'd like to urge you to begin studying. Embrace the study of the Bible. It's nothing more rewarding to me than studying the sacred scriptures. People told me when I was young, "Oh, don't study the Bible too much, you'll go crazy." I said the only way you go crazy is if you don't study the Bible, because the scriptures tell us that the Holy Spirit is in the Word, and when you study the Word, you get a sound mind. And so that's what I'd like to offer. Your choice of these books, and then here is our monthly magazine, the Sacred Name Broadcaster magazine. It has always in the center of the magazine, I do a prophetic analysis of what's happening in the world that relates to Bible prophecy. I don't believe in setting dates. I never have and I never will. As a consequence, I want to watch the trends and to explain the trends to people who may be interested. So that's the reason why we have the prophetic trends section in the middle of each magazine. Now, here are 3 articles on the sacred name. I'd like to send you these articles, and this is, again, I want to mention, Literature Offer number 9102. Literature Offer 9102 will include a 1-year subscription to the Sacred Name Broadcaster magazine. It will include this major article on Christmas and why Christmas is not a correct time. In the sacred scriptures, when birthdays are mentioned 3 times, violence and death took place. So we acknowledge a birthday. I mean, you can't get away from the fact that you're getting 1 year older every birthday, but we don't celebrate it with gifts and birthday cakes and things of that nature. We mention it, yes, we're 1 year older today, but congratulate people who are past their birthday milestone. But we don't make a practice of celebrating it as the world does. So consequently, where did this celebration of Christmas originate anyway? Well, it's an amalgamation of religions. The true worship was when Yahweh sent his only begotten Son into the world to preach the message of salvation in the kingdom of Yahweh that's coming. But when Yahweh sent his only begotten Son, then the world already had a religion, and that religion was sun worship. Why does nominal religion worship on Sunday, when the Bible says we should worship on the Sabbath? We have an article here on the fourth commandment enigma, which day to keep. Most people don't know which day we should keep for the Sabbath. And yet it's very simple. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh your Elohim. In it you shall not do any work. You, the reader, whether man or woman, your son, your daughter, your manservant, your maidservant, your cattle, your ox, your ass, which were draft animals in biblical times, and everything that's in your house is supposed to, everyone who's in your house is supposed to rest on the 7th day of the week, as Yahweh created the world in 6 days, and he rested on the 7th day and was refreshed. So as a consequence, we worship on the 7th day of the week, because we can't change it. Well, why is the birthday of the Messiah designated for December 25? The answer to that is that December 25 was the birthday of the new Son, S-U-N, not S-O-N. And then there are many traditions adhering to Christmas which come from ancient Rome and sun worship. For example, the schools were closed, courts didn't sit, and everyone took a vacation. We find that they had also a feast. The employers gave their servants a feast at this time of year. So as a consequence, they are doing it today. And then you look at the practices of the bacchanalia, the drinking a lot of alcoholic beverages, which goes on all the time, the mummers and the pageantry of New Year's that's connected with it. And we must come to the conclusion that we cannot participate in those practices. They are worldly traditions of a worship that we cannot participate in. So anyway, we have a correspondence course that I know that you'd appreciate studying the Bible systematically with this correspondence course. You write in for it. It'll come along with literature number 9102. And then you go through the correspondence course, lesson 1. You do the quiz, put your name and address on the quiz, send it in, you're automatically registered. This is our statement of doctrine. We're not afraid to put this up against anyone who wishes to understand what the Assemblies of Yahweh stands for. All of this really good material is here awaiting your request. Write to the Sacred Name Broadcast, P.O. Box C, Bethel, Pennsylvania, zip code 19507, or telephone our toll-free number 1-800-523-3827. Mention "Sent Me Literature Offer Number 9102," and we'll get it out to you as soon as we possibly can. Friends, I'm thankful you joined us today and hope that you join us again next week at this same time on this same station. And until then, this has been Elder Jacob O. Meyer saying, may Yahweh bless you abundantly.